I wanted to talk about a few teams, and I wanted to see who you would nominate as the Saturday team of the week from yesterday. So, and we'll start there. So, South Carolina, of course, they gave up an 8-point lead in the fourth quarter to Alabama.
Yeah.
They were in the lead for a long time in that game. The margin just wasn't big enough for them. Oklahoma, they came back from 12 down. They took the lead by 1 and then proceeded to let Ole Miss score 9 more points, in Norman, to eventually lose the game there. Mississippi
Mhm.
State, they had a huge lead on Texas at home, 17 points with 12 minutes left. It was going to be their first SEC win in over 2 years. And then, of course, late at night last night, LSU looked like they had the lead going into the second half, but at large time they just looked like they were out there just doing cardio. Brian Kelly, I mean, is his time done? They were chanting, fire Brian Kelly, in the stands. I know we've been talking about the whole season, but last night just seemed like a nail in the coffin. He was yelling at his assistant coaches. The 10 LSU fans that were left, like I said, they were yelling for him to be fired. So out of those 4 examples of comeback situations, who would you say had the Saturday?
Sure. So, I mean, Mississippi State collapsing like that definitely gives them, the Saturday honors of week 9. A 17-point lead in the fourth quarter and, now extending to your conference losing streak to 16. I mean, that's just terrible. All right.
Can't argue with you
Um,
there.
yeah. And so you could tell, Mississippi State, they were completely out of answers when Ryan Niblett was able to tie the game with a 79-yard punt return touchdown. Like, just
There were a couple of punt. I saw a text. There was a punt return in the Texas A&M game, and
yep.
then one here. That was another theme that I kept seeing yesterday.
Yeah. And so with this, it was what a storybook ending it was for, Texas in this game. The day started with some article mentioning that Sark, is interested in an NFL job, possibly with the Titans. And then, it ended with your starting quarterback getting hurt in overtime, your backup coming in and scoring a game-winning touchdown that had to go to video review, right? So just crazy waves of up and
Yeah,
down during the day. Yeah.
exciting day to be a Longhorn for sure. Um,
Mhm.
yeah, I thought Mississippi State had great execution the first 3 quarters of the game. They got a lot of pressure on Arch, made him throw some really bad throws. Their receivers had a few drops. I saw Wingo drop it at least 2 or 3 times. Mississippi State, they sacked him 5 times. Their Mississippi State's passing attack, led by Blake Shapen, it was on point. He actually had more yards than Texas did. And one thing you have to do as an underdog here, they scored in the red zone. They went 4 for 4 in the red zone, so they got points. As need or not as needed, but when they needed them, when they had to get the points, they got them.
Mhm. No, yeah, it's almost like, the game scripts, it only went for those 3 quarters of just great execution, which is
Yeah,
absolutely crazy, right? But I
yeah,
also, I have to credit Texas for coming back alive at this moment, right? I mean, being down that much and not feeling like, you're out of it yet,
yeah.
crazy. Arch was connecting with his receivers. He doesn't get any credit all season, but he was doing it, at the latter end of the game. And the defense started making some crucial stops, and it helped them score 24 unanswered points in the fourth quarter and overtime. So just a
Yep.
miraculous comeback.
Yep. So last episode, we thought Mississippi State was going to win that one. One of the few that we got wrong. But we did get our underdog pick correct. They lost by 7, and the underdog pick was 7.5 points. So we're good there.